In today's video, I'll have a closer look at the smallest and the lightest spinning reel I ever reviewed, and it's a reel called Orca, produced by a brand, I guess, called FishingFans. As you can see, this thing is really tiny, baby size. And best of all, it's very, very affordable too. Actually, when I was ordering this reel, I was thinking, oh no, it's so cheap, it will be a waste of money, even though not a lot, but I was thinking still I'm throwing out my cash. But I wasn't. It's not a bad reel at all. Obviously, it has its flaws for this price, but it's not bad, and I do recommend it. So yeah, let's find out together what's good and what's not so good about this tiny reel. Once again, I have to mention a couple of things. One, I paid for this reel out of my own pocket, and it's not a paid review. Two, since this reel has line on it, you should be able to figure out that I used this reel already, and there will be a video me using and testing this reel out as well. Watch out for that video. Anyway, let's move on with the review now. First of all, as I mentioned, it's a tiny reel, and I really like the looks of it. It's black, all black. Everything is black. Looks really, really slick. So now the moving parts, right? Let's start with a handle. Handle actually is a screw-in type, and it's one piece. Looks almost like a carbon one from Shimano or Vanquish or something like that. Knob is rubberized, very, very comfy. And let's look for that in and out movement, and there is quite a bit, I would say. And here it's quite average. It spins okay, but yeah, definitely there is some movement. Just observe that gap there. And it's not ideal that you can't add any washers because it's not a screw, it's a rivet. So let's screw this handle back in and let's see how the gears are put together. So I will grab onto the rotor and let's see for in and out movement. Just observe this gap now. And there is a little bit. In here it's, I would say, average. Then rotational wobble or slop. This is good. Better than average, I would say. Maybe there is a slight one, but it's not bad for a tiny reel. And with this reel, you won't be casting anything more than like 3 grams or something like that. You know, it's a reel designed really for super ultralight to be put on tiny rods with tiny handles, like, you know, this kind of a handle that needs the smaller reel you can get, the better really. So yeah, now let's move on to the moving parts. So the bail wire, it's a thick one and it's a solid one, so it feels okay. I mean, it's quite strong. I can't bend it at all, but when it comes to attachment, there is some movement, especially on this block. So I guess if I would add a couple of washers, maybe one washer, it would be way better. Now it's action. So this is the area I don't really like. It has a crack sound, which is not needed. But obviously, if you're a Shimano guy or something like that, the spring is, I would say, quite, you know, adequate for this reel. Now, let's move on to the drag adjuster, wheel or knob. It has clicks. It looks and feels like dive almost. Now, about the spool itself, it has some movement. Average amount. Okay, let's peek inside. And then we'll talk about the line lay. There's a rubber gasket here. Good to see for this price. Diver type clicker. Actually, it has a seal here, if you can see that dark red or maroon thing. That's cool. So it will be kind of relatively well sealed, especially when it doesn't have the anti-reverse switch. Let's quickly see if we can. No, I can't see any, at least any red, you know, silicone or rubber seals, so at least the spool is sealed from the top and main gets from the top too, which is not a bad deal. So now let's talk actually about the line lay, right? So in my opinion, this will be solid 8, maybe 8.5, maybe 9. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. It goes, you know, nicely from the bottom, like almost no gap, right to the top, almost no gap. And also what I like, you know, that they kind of used kind of wide lip here, meaning, you know, that fine lines which you will be using, I promise, with this reel, because as I say, you won't be using this reel with more than 3-4 grams for sure. So super fine lines, braided lines, you know, can be a problem, you know, for most reels to handle, especially on windy days. And this lip helps, you know, to kind of control the line, making sure it's not going above and then creating a loop or wind knot. So yeah, I like this idea. And yeah, it casts well, and I did not experience any wind knots at all. I fished a good few hours with this reel, and yeah, caught a bunch of fish. No issue there at all. And also what I have to mention is this: the drag itself is fantastic. For this price, it's awesome. I did not have to do anything, like no fine tuning, no changing of fishes. It's great out of the box. Oh, I nearly forgot to test the line roller, so let's do it now. Let's mark it for everyone to see, me and you. Good solid mark here. And now let's grab this line, and then we'll test the drag clicker, which is great in my opinion. Here we go, I got some of that line. And let's see if the line roller spins. I'm going quite low on drag. If it will walk, it will walk. Oh yeah. Hope you can pick it up. On lighter setting. Still spins. All good here. And now you can listen for that drag clicker, right? It's nice and loud, positive. It reminds me of, you know, high quality, like not cheapest Shimano's. Definitely sounds very good. Way better than Daiwa's, like pre-2025 LT reels, I mean. And not only it sounds good, but also adjustment and everything is pretty good. I was actually very impressed. So let's play around a little bit. What did I do with that line here? It will walk. So now I'll try to pull it with just 2 fingers, right? And I can. Just using 2 fingers now. Let's see. Like I went 90 degrees maybe or so. Still can. Another 90 maybe degrees. And that's it. I can, but barely. I mean, when I was playing decent fish that was taking plenty of line, I never felt, you know, that my drag will fail me, you know. It was very, very consistent, very nice, very even, you know. When the fish, you know, every flick of the tail, you know, kind of was visible on the spool, you know, and I was able to hear it. So yeah, drag is really fantastic for this price. Very, very impressive. So we looked at that, and now I mentioned, right, that it's a very light reel. So let's put that line on, and we will take a weight of it. Right, let's clip this line into the clip, just like that. It's my scales. Let's fire it up. Zeros, just make sure you can see the screen somewhat, and boom, 124 grams. Yep, so it makes this reel the lightest one I ever reviewed, and one of the lightest, like decent quality spinning reels available, at least for this price, that's for sure. So yeah, all in all, looks good, tiny, and so on. Now let's talk about the smoothness and power transmission. And really, it's not bad. I mean, startup energy or power transmission, so how much energy do I need to start, spinning the reel? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. For this price, you would expect way worse, and mind you, I paid for it 15 British pounds, so it would be like, I don't know, $20, 16, 17 euro, something like that. So yeah, you would not expect power transmission like this for such a cheap reel. And now when it comes to the smoothness, actually it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. The smoothness is definitely better than average, especially for this price. And it's relatively quiet reel. I mean, the gears are quiet. They produce a little bit like of a noise, but again, it's not Daiwa, it's not, Shimano. Yeah, you will get some noise from most reels, especially after fishing with them. And I fished and I caught quite a few fish with this reel already. So yeah, not too bad at all. So would I recommend this reel like instead of something like that? Like this is Casking Valiant Eagle. It depends really. If you are willing to mess about with the spring or remove it from the drag adjuster, then this is a little bit smoother. And power transmission is a little bit better, but I believe it will be about 2 to 3 times more expensive than this one. So yeah, and if you don't intend to mess about with that, which I have a separate video about, just to have a good drag, then easy recommendation this one, because very important. See, on a super ultralight, drag is very, very important, and here they got it absolutely bang on. It's right. And Casking Valiant Eagle 2 or Kestrel, unless they improve, on like next batches, if you will. But both my reel that I got, Valiant Eagle and Kestrel, they had this issue, where the spring was so powerful, you or I wasn't able to feel, when I'm adjusting the drag strength. So kind of, and then or I turn, and then it's too tight, and I can't really feel how I'm kind of tightening it. When I remove this spring that is in this adjuster, I can feel it now, but clicks are gone though. Anyway, yeah, I would recommend this one instead of this one. How long this one will last, again, I do not know. These caskings, they definitely last. I used them, for a while now, and yeah, they are still great. So I would say, yeah, this one is lighter. Line lay is slightly better too. Lighter reel, smaller reel, looks better, and very important, most importantly, drag performance is way better out of the box than on these small or micro casking reels. So, and also this one is, as I say, 2 to 3 times less expensive than this one. So yeah, can easily recommend these instead of caskings, having in mind again if these reels will last. And yeah, interestingly, these reels, they are sold under many different names. Most popular one that is sold on AliExpress, they call it Marvelous Seal, I believe, even though you're getting exactly the same reel. And picture they do have this Orca and FishingFans as well. So yeah, it just goes to show, that one factory is producing them, and various brands or sellers on AliExpress selling this reel under their own names. So yeah, once again, easy recommendation for super ultralight, and please make sure you don't use this reel with bigger weight than, let's say, 3 grams, 4 grams tops, because probably it will be fine, but it's just not designed for that. If you want it to last, use it as it was designed, for that is, 1 gram under 1 gram casting. This will be perfect. Tiny reel to catch silverfish, bonus fish, micro lures like this one. If I can get the focus on. like this one, would be where this reel will shine. As I say, small, compact, great drag, and so on. So if you are interested in checking this reel out, have a look at those links in the description below. And also, if you will decide to buy it, make sure you read reviews and comments from other anglers before pulling the trigger. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Over and out.